Hopefully you didn't cry too much. Thank you for watching my vision, and Jola and I are here for a couple of minutes for questions. And we welcome you outside for some drink receptions. Share your thoughts, and for some of you who would love to do a camera and share your testimonials, we would love to pass not only supporting this, but also supporting you and having your name out there with our community and my growing community as well through my work, so we can impact more people, not just with our work, but also with your work.
Anybody has any questions, we're here to answer as best we can. As best I can, yes.
First question, did you finally solve your problems, all your problems, or did you become a little bit happy?
No, I'm not a master now.
No.
I think the problems just continue.
At least if you can share this, your kind of situation problem with the people, with audience.
Well, I mean, we all go through problems, we all have challenges, and we all, it's about becoming the person to deal with those challenges and to acknowledge the truth. Because that's the most important thing, in my opinion, to live our truth. And I do believe there's lots of people out there who suppress the truth, and I know in myself that's what was happening, and it was about just growing to the next level. And what happened afterwards, and it was being able to deal with that and be coached through what happened afterwards. But the most important thing is to being strong enough to do that because of the love for Timia and for everyone around him.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? We left you speechless.
Are you happy now?
Well, it's an interesting question. I mean, because you can't have happy without being sad. So the idea that I'm learning from Tony in the coaching session is to be balanced in everything that we do, because you can't have happy without being sad, because we wouldn't know. But understanding emotions and being taught emotional intelligence, which is not something we learn from a young age, then you can rebalance yourself in any situation, so you don't get elated or deflated. Am I happy now? Well, I'm learning to be more balanced. Is the answer.
Any more questions?
My question goes to you. How did you feel when you saw his wife have reaction when he said that he doesn't want to continue the relationship?
To every human being, including to myself, there's two sides to us. The professional side of us, and there's the personal side to us. So the professional side is something that you learn to be able to help somebody, and the personal side is where you experience in somebody else's life through what you value and how you connect with the person. And for me, as a teacher, it's taken me years to master the reality of not getting involved. So when I'm serving somebody, I almost like create a light energy around me, so I'm not there to engage emotionally. I'm there to provide guidance for people to awaken their own wisdom, for them to make a choice for what they believe in themselves to be the truth. Outside of that session, when I'm maybe having a drink with Joel or with Timia, then I can talk on a human level. How would I be in that? Because that was one of the questions I asked Timia. A powerful question when we do self-reflective work. That somebody you love, if somebody were experiencing the same thing, how would you feel? And then your own mirror wakes up saying, I wouldn't let a friend go through that. But a lot of people around the world, the reality is although we don't like the truth, we don't like to be rejected, we don't like to be, told that somebody doesn't want us. But the reality is that pain that gets generated, the physiology changes that happens in our body as a result of those lies, it's a long-term pain that can lead even to suicide, can lead to mental health, can lead to a lot of problems. So especially when it comes to women, because we create this image about love, and then when our expectations are not being met, we attack. So Timia is a unique client of mine because she's learned very fast to be able to transcend those emotions when there's a storm. Because we naturally, when somebody hurts us, we want to attack. It's part of our animalistic nature. So it's a master to be able to listen when somebody speaks their truth, even though we may not like it. So it's all about being able to listen to yourself and acknowledge that speaking the truth is so much more powerful than if Joel continued to lie.
Can I ask that there's an ethical dimension to this, which is that
Yeah.
if you're an adult, you've got the conceptual framework to be able to, once you acquire some emotional intelligence, you can sort of transcend it. And we all make mistakes, we all get into relationships that we probably didn't want to be in, and it's full of grief and we want to separate, but the real victim in all this is your daughter, and I can't help but feel like a huge degree of empathy for the situation. It's very sad, but how do you coach her?
Aha, good question.
Because
good question.
she is going to feel guilt, shame, grief, and we come out of the womb with all the emotional machinery we need to be human beings, but we have a conceptual framework to deal with it. And I sort of respect your bravery for doing the film and sticking to your truth, but you've got a daughter there as well. So
Okay, a beautiful question. Thank you for asking that. The last time we were asked this question was in New York. We opened up the New York Film Festival, and I've studied children's psychology as well. So it's basically what I've learned through 50 years of experience. We as children, although as adults we think children don't know much, we actually observe reality very powerfully. We may not make sense in the way an adult that forms a logical approach to a problem. But in this case, with Timmy and Joel, they're both talking to their daughter as thinks what's happening, it's normal. Because the more you dramatize things, the more the child builds the emotion that creates the psychology of the victim. And I've worked with so many adults who, as children, they observe the problem in their parenting and they just continue the same pattern. So I personally believe that when children are taught up through this, to see it as a natural way rather than sort of as a dramatic way, they have a much better equipped emotional intelligence to deal with a similar conflict if it happens in their life in other ways.
it's a very precarious.
Yes, you have to.
How old are you?
Just turned 6.
Yeah, I mean you have to be very careful, both as a parent and wherever you may be working. But she's going in one of the top schools as well. So there's a support at all levels. Not every child has that support. So part of the message for us is also that there's so many couples around the world, they have children for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have to see. Trauma gets in the way.
Yes, but the whole thing is about if child's psychology is developed in a way that the child can see the truth, okay, they are better equipped with themselves rather than saying to lie to the child and then at 12 say, okay, we don't love each other. So both Timia and Joel, because of the work we've been doing together, they're talking to Sophie like she's an adult. And if you speak to her now, she'll talk to you like an adult.
I think kids should
So,
And she's going to have her own TV show anyway.
so, you know,
Including my losing episodes of Bob.
well, at 20. So it's a very good point.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more?
Any more?
I think I want to ask a question to you.
Sure.
What is your motive that makes you who you are today, like to become a cure for people?
Okay. I've overcome many of my challenges in my life, including sexual abuse as a young child. And on top of that, civil war, and I lost a lot of family and friends and my identity as who I am. So I've gone, I mean, those are just the tiny things without me going into details. That's why I wrote them in my books and became best-selling, and Joel got inspired by it and they want to share this. Now, naturally, for all of us, when we overcome any form of adversity, some of us choose to transcend that and then turn that into a service. But some of us can end up still living the trauma and still living, almost some people going to suicide. So if people read, when people read, I have almost 10,000 personal messages about #loneliness when I openly talk about my adversity. Because I didn't want to go out there, teach people a unique method if I wasn't transparent and open to every human being I see, including my sexual identity. Because we live in a world nowadays that it's a bit turbulent, and we've seen it through political scene, with the rise of nationalism and all of that. But there's also a conscious community, and hopefully all the filmmakers in here, we know that all those labels eventually we strip them off, and we see one another as one, rather than sort of a separate entity. So there's many adversities that created a teacher, but also invested a lot of money in working with some of the top experts in the world, until I became one, and they hire me now to help them. So I created a method that, when I look at what's happening in the world, you know, we have two elements to ourselves. Our spirit, whether you acknowledge that in yourself or not, that's a whole different discussion I can have with you. And then there's the material side of ourselves, which is how do we ground ourselves in the material world. And I've seen many teachers out there to be powerful on one or to be powerful on the other. And I want to create a bridge, because intuitively we want to grow. Intuitively we want a better future. Intuitively we want to feel connected. Intuitively we want to give our love to somebody who really appreciates it. It's the, you know, your time and your love is the best gift you can give to anybody. So all of those things drove me, as I mastered that, I said millions of people can learn to do that. And basically go out there and really connect people from a vibration of love and above.
It's a big mission.
Thank you.
Seriously.
That's why I have the support of Joe and all the different clients that I work with.
Do you believe in pro bono?
I don't know what it means.
I
You don't know what pro bono is?
Pro bono has many elements to it. So
I see.
this, I can tell you what I believe. I believe in teaching the person to fish rather than sort of to give them fish.
That didn't answer my question.
Well, it depends what you mean by
The
that.
definition of pro bono work, like in a law firm,
Mhm.
is that as part of your privilege of charging a big price
Yeah.
for what you do,
Yeah.
that in order, if you're really giving to civilization as a whole,
Mhm.
you are willing to give your services at a reduced rate to certain people who can't afford what you're talking about here. It's like with psychologists.
Yeah.
You have a psychology degree, by the way?
Yes, I studied engineering and psychology.
And you have a degree in psychology, in other words.
I have a combined degree in engineering and psychology.
Okay. So my point being is that this is all well and good, but I'm just saying to you that what it's going to come off as is this is a rich man's access toy to help you cope with whatever you've gone through. I'm not saying I haven't gone through this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm older, so I've already done it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that this would make more sense to me if, like other psychologists I know, you also allow for pro bono work.
Yes,
So that
I
you
mean,
are helping more people
okay.
and not just
I think
charging a fee.
Each one of us has a way of doing pro bono work. And pro bono work takes many forms. That's why I ask you what you mean exactly by that. Because, for instance, I have clients who come to me and say, Tony, I know you're the leading expert. I can't afford full price, but I can pay you half price.
Mhm.
And they said, in return for the rest of it, I can introduce you to 10 universities where you can speak, I can bring you 5 clients, I can take you on I can write a magazine, I've got a big blog, I've got a lot of stuff. So I believe in fair exchange. Fair exchange meaning exactly what I said. You teach people to fish, because then they are sorted for life. Make sense?
No, but that's okay, it's just my
Yeah,
opinion.
I mean, as I said, it's,
You know,
for me,
we all
it's-
can have our opinions.
correct, we all have our opinions, and the reality is none of us in the world, we can satisfy everybody's opinion.
Of course not.
So we have to do what's our calling and what's our mission is within ourselves.
Yep.
And then connect with people who are in similar value system to you. And when people are ready to what you have to offer, they will find the ways and the means.
Mhm.
Because they value what you have to give.
Mhm.
We welcome you for drinks outside.
Welcome
and we'd
outside,
be
and
happy
thank
to
you.
speak to you further, of course.
Yes, ask any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got a gift from the guys.
From Monkey Drama.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, thank you. Ciao. It looks good to me. Very good. Much more shining and red very much with you. But I'm not red today. Hello again.
J'allais vouloir le dire, mais si j'avais compris.
How are you? Did I make interview yesterday with you or not?
Sorry?
Did I make interview yesterday with you or not? Yesterday did I make interview with you? No. Did I talk with you? Maybe ask someone because I'm with camera now working. Yeah, thank you. So maybe we can today do it with you also.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. If you're free, okay.
Yeah. Let's just say that I'm gonna be here for now.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the champagne.
Ah, yes.
I'm just gonna go and check if my mom wanna have one champagne.
Okay.
People that usually, and I know that from my own personal training, and that's physical training. I used to get people
I don't waste any more energy.
created something that's
And the value differs depending on
It's on Amazon now, so
Can I take? Yeah, please. Thank you.
as well.
Thank you. I have to make selfie for show how tall you are, because,
okay.
if it's possible, yeah.
Sure. No. I work in the fashion industry.
Ah, really? You live in Milan?
Yes.
Ah, really?
Yes, I do.
I also live in Milano. I'm journalist, but I do also music video.
Oh, great. Impressive.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. My name is Sergio. Sergio, in Italian Sergio.
Nice to meet you, Victoria.
Yeah, where are you from, Victoria?
Казахстан.
Казахстан, а говоришь по-русски?
Да, конечно.
Хорошо. Sergey, Sergio, yeah. No, nice to meet you. I'm from St. Petersburg.
Я люблю Питер.
Да? Вы были в Питере?
Да. Можете сейчас
Да. Потом с вами поговорим еще в интервью, окей?
But I will do.